Ho, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Top Shelf Takes, the only show on the internet that is made up of complete fact and no opinion whatsoever. Today we're going to be talking about the best Christmas movies of all time. Hi, I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Demi.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Grace.
So we've returned, Top Shelf Takes. I've missed this show. So today we're going to be talking about the holidays, those favorite movies that we've all grown up loving, or maybe some new ones that have recently sparked that love of the holiday season back in our lives. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to today's judge, who is none other than Grace Graham.
Hello, my guys, my gals, my non-binary pals. I will be your judge this evening. Alright, the rules of this bad boy reunion special. You each have 30 seconds to state your case on your holiday pick for the order that we will be going in, and then we will go into our 3-minute debate round where blood will be spilled, candy canes will be used as murder weapons, that kind of thing, to pick what our top film will be for that slot. I will be basing this on the arguments purely. I will put any kind of bias I have towards person, film, anything aside. So, let's get started! Ho ho ho!
Alright, this first one's probably gonna come out a shocker, but for my sixth spot, I'm gonna say The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a controversial subject, as many people argue over whether it's only a Halloween movie, is it a Christmas movie, is it a Halloween movie. I think it's both, okay? It's like scary, spooky, but also it's got Christmas in the freaking title, dude. Like, come on. It's got both. Why not just watch the one movie for like 3 months straight? I think that's a happy time. I think that's a good choice.
Time! Speaking of time. Perfect.
All right, I'm going to get this one out of the way real early. I'm also doing a controversial one. I am picking Die Hard for my number 6. Why can't an action movie also be a Christmas movie? What rule is that? That's dumb. The only people who say Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie are usually the people who have never seen Die Hard. Die Hard is fundamentally a Christmas movie, and I can break down reasons as we go forward. But for now, I'll leave it now. I watch it every year on Close Up to the Day.
This is a bold one, but it's not controversial because it's an actual Christmas movie. We're going with Santa Claus 3 and The Escape Clause. And I just have 5 words for you. Martin Short as Jack Frost. That's it.
Demi, you made the only respectful argument for the Santa Claus 3 that I would have heard. So you know what? It's not my choice. I'm not really even a fan of the series, but I respect the Martin Short pull. So I'll say that.
It's basically the movie It's a Wonderful Life, but with Tim Allen and Martin Short. So, like...
See, like, I was debating putting that movie on, not It's a Wonderful Life, this is Santa Claus 3, on my list, because, again, of those 5 words, because that's just a brilliant choice that they made. But I remember the last time I watched it, I was like bored whenever he wasn't on the screen, and that's like there's a solid like middle chunk of the movie where he's just not there, and it's like, oh, I miss him.
Katie, I fully agree.
That's a fair point, but I think the movie gets back on track when it explores the dangers of capitalism as concerning Father Christmas. The whole like third act of that movie is when Jack Frost takes over and turns the North Pole into a theme park like to make money, and that's the crux of the movie. Okay,
I agree, but Martin Short is the only watchable part in the movie for me, and so that means like a third of the movie is good, but that's still a good 66% of your movie that I'm very bored by. Katie, I have a block with The Nightmare Before Christmas I need to throw at you. So it's not the conventional one. I don't have anything against it being for both holidays. It's just that I watch it at Halloween time, and that's like my viewership for the year. And when Christmas time comes around, I'm like, I just watched that. And so I'm not really in the mood. And so I've never viewed it as a Christmas movie fully, not making the argument, but for
1 minute left.
For me, it's never quite hit because I just watched it and was in those Halloween vibes. Die Hard is set at a Christmas holiday party. What a fun place for shenanigans to ensue. Christmas is part of the plot. The robbers literally picked that night because it's Christmas Eve. The Christmas puns are constant. The Die Hard soundtrack is literally just Christmas music. John McClane's wife's name is Holly. Do I need to go on?
30 seconds!
I'd like to jump in. I just want to say for my Nightmare Before Christmas argument of the fact that people who are Halloween people and not so much Christmas people, it's like a perfect reason to just watch that movie again and still have your spooky time. And then also, I've never seen Die Hard. I'm not going to say it's not a Christmas movie, but that's not what this is about. Isn't it like action-y? I don't want to watch like action and intensity around Christmas time.
That's just a genre, though.
No, I agree. The best Christmas films are ones that you get cuddled up for.
Yeah,
you get cozy with your
Time! That is time, folks. All right, folks. I have to give that to because no one really knocked it down whatsoever. Santa Claus 3: The Escape Clause. Nobody knocked it down, honestly. Yeah, and it was the most talked about. I didn't really hear much for Die Hard other than it's Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas. So.
So when I was like making my list, I was trying to think of movies that I watch every year, or ones that I watched a lot as a kid. And so this is one that I feel like if it's on the TV, I'm gonna watch it. And it's the Santa Claus. They play it often. It comes on, and I get those cozy vibes. And again, Tim Allen, that's a fun time. It has murder, but it still has the cozy feeling. Santa literally is killed. And who knew that an ordinary could be Santa?
I want this list to be dominated by the Tim Allen Christmas movies.
1964, Rankin Bass. We're going Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for number 5. A positive message about being yourself, great music, great stop motion that still holds up today. King Moonracer? You guys remember him? The lion with wings who guards the island of misfit toys, and he's a king named King Moonracer? Where's his spin-off movie? Why is he a lion that's in charge of toys?
That is time. We'll never know why. Anyway. All right. Demi, take it away. Go.
Okay. We're doing number 5, A Year Without a Santa Claus, and the sole reason are those two dudes that sing that song, Heat Miser and Snow Miser, and my entire argument in the 3-minute section will be me singing those songs.
Demi, you know what is boring? That movie that isn't the 5 minutes that the Heat Miser and the Ice Miser aren't in it. I fall asleep during that one. But that seems great.
Are there Nazis? Is that one?
There might be Nazis. I don't know.
If there are Nazis, I will issue a formal apology because I don't think I've ever even watched that movie. I've only ever seen it. Anyway, moving on.
Demi just keeps saying I gotta this movie, so it's good.
I gotta come at Rudolph for the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This movie has become a classic, and it honestly doesn't deserve to be, because that movie is not like the feel-good, heartwarming, be-yourself movie that people claim it is. Rudolph is bullied relentlessly until he's fucking useful. Sorry to swear. He only becomes popular because they need something out of him, because he becomes useful in, again, a capitalistic world. Bye. So that movie does not give you the whole be yourself vibes and people will love you. It is be yourself, and if people need something from you, they'll use you, and then they'll throw you back. And Tim, you brought up this point the other day. In every movie after that movie, when they showed the reindeer, they only showed the 8. They never show Rudolph again because they don't fucking need him and they don't love him.
It's a crime.
It's fake.
I agree, Demi, but Rudolph, he saves the day, and he does it just by being who he is.
His whiny-ass, annoying little bitch-ass voice.
He takes the thing that he was made fun of his entire life and uses it for good and saves the day. He gets the mic drop. He literally gets the mic drop of the movie, and he does it all with a funny blonde elf who wants to be a dentist and a abominable snowman who's there for some reason. You know what's not comfy? You know what's not something I want to snuggle up on the couch and watch? Tim Allen murdering Santa Claus.
No, come
That is
on.
actually
That's
a
not
nightmare.
It's
That is
funny.
terrifying. I've
That-
never
Die Hard's
gotten
not.
I've never gotten
Yeah,
the
good
obsession with
point.
these movies. Literally, Santa dies. He
1 minute.
Because they're
violently.
funny. It's because an ordinary man becomes Santa on accident, and now he just he
His
doubles in
life.
size, and he grows a beard, and he just has this responsibility if he has to fulfill Christmas. He was just an ordinary grumpy man before, and then not only that, but he goes on this journey with his son. He learns to be a loving father on top of it all, and it's honestly beautiful.
I don't like the lore that Santa Claus is just like a death curse that gets passed down. Like, that's creepy. It adds an unwanted layer onto Santa Claus. Like, I'm not a fan. And Tim Allen
Maybe
is not
saved
the Santa I
Maybe
want.
Santa had been Santa for too long, and he needed a break.
Every other character in Rudolph was more interesting than Rudolph.
Hey, so there are a
All
lot
the
of great
Disney boys
movies
are way
that
more
have that
interesting than
too.
Rudolph.
There's a lot of the main character doesn't have to be the best one. There's a
Wait a
lot of
second.
great. Sam the Snowman, silver and gold. That's you,
I literally
Cornelius.
don't know.
But,
any-
Bubbles,
All
Bubbles.
right, that is time. That is time. Demi made a convincing song. I have to say, I have made my decision because this argument really tugged at the heartstrings. You got in there and pulled at them, and I have to give this spot to the Santa Claus.
Okay.
Let's go!
This is one that I would watch a lot as a kid, and also because I'm a Disney doll, I think I also watch it now still. It is Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. And it is this beautiful just compilation of a bunch of different holiday sketches with Mickey and friends, and it's honestly kind of funny and a thing that adults would put on for their kids, but the adults would actually kind of be genuinely entertained, and it also has moments that tug at the heartstrings.
That is
And-
time.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about potentially the dumbest movie of all time. That is, of course, Love Actually. Love Actually, as dumb as it is, I love it adoringly. It makes my Grinch heart grow 5 times its size once I get past the cheesiness of the cringy plot. But it is so funny, and it also shows the different versions of love, and it brings out how actually Christmas makes you feel closer to people and makes you kind of have that empathy that is lacking a lot of the time in the year, and it does it in a lot of different.
This is a case where the sequel lives up to, if not surpasses, the original film. I'm talking Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. This movie takes all the things we loved about the first one, all the antics, all the chaos, all the kid being an awesome defender of his home, and puts it in the Big Apple itself. We got those 2 bozos, 2 full-grown men.
That is your time.
Damn it!
Okay,
2
so
full-grown men who go after a kid for revenge.
here you have this absolutely ridiculous movie that has some of the most famous people of all time playing caricatures like an aging rock star whose one chance to get back on the charts one last time is by bringing back an old hit single and changing one word to be Christmas.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I've watched Love Actually one time. And the thing I took out of that was that the man cheated on what's her face, the very nice one. Yeah,
Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson, they steal the movie.
yeah. He's cheating on her. That's what I took out of Love Actually. So I don't remember it as this warm, fuzzy, feel good movie. I remember it as Emma Thompson does not deserve that.
No, of course she doesn't. But Love Actually is an anthology film. There's several stories, and that happens to be one of falling out of love and making mistakes. And it shows relationships of all sorts of different angles. And just because one is falling apart doesn't make it any less relevant.
But is it as memorable as Merry Christmas, you stinking animal, and Happy New Year? No, it's not as memorable.
It is. I would argue it absolutely
I
is.
watched it before and I don't remember it.
Demi,
so
I'm sorry I don't want to watch Donald Trump at Christmas, okay?
It's
was
hilarious
what
to watch
he
Donald
was.
Trump at Christmas. It's so funny to watch a young Donald Trump make a dumb cameo in that movie. It's hilarious. Okay, my preferred genre of film is rom-com, and I got a half hour into Love Actually when I tried to watch it. I think I stopped around the time that Hugh Grant started feeling flirty with his assistant or something, and that is uncomfy. Don't love that. I honestly want Home Alone 2 to be higher on the list. I think it's just a it is truly the most brilliant move they could have made. to put him in New York. So I think it deserves to be higher.
I have a question about why you chose Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas rather than Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
I think because it was a thing when I was a child and the other one came out like 10 years before that. Okay. So I never watched the first one.
Because Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas has the gift of the Magi, and Mickey and Minnie do that whole thing, and it's freaking really cool. But I can't remember what the ones in Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas are. What are the skits
Mickey's
about?
Twice Upon a Christmas, I think, was the first time like Mickey and Friends were computer animated, so that's a fun little special moment.
You're right.
And so
30 seconds.
There's like a little bit where Pluto like ruins Mickey's decorations, so Mickey kicks him out of the house, which is pretty dark. And then he's like, "Oh, I lost Pluto," and he looks for him, and Santa finds him. Pluto like becomes a reindeer. There's one when like Daisy and Minnie like fight in like an ice skating competition, and they do these like epic ice skating routines. There's a classic moment of like Max brings a girl home for Christmas, but Goofy's goofy, so
5 seconds.
Oh boy, I've never seen it before, and I'll admit I want to now. So
there is one
it in my
you do and Minnie are absolute little shits.
Katie, go into Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. Absolutely. I will say Love Actually is my favorite, like probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, though. So.
Speaking of that moment where you eat the ratatouille and you have a childhood flashback, let's talk about the most nostalgic, coziest Christmas movie there is, and that is The Polar Express. Just remember in your classroom the last day before Christmas break, having a cup of hot chocolate with 3 little marshmallows in it, and it was the best day of your entire life. Polar Express. I'll get more into it in the debate.
Number 3 is Elf. I love Elf. No movie gets me more amped for Christmas than Elf. It is the let's get this party started movie. It's the funniest Christmas movie. It has so much heart, showing the importance of family and keeping childlike wonder and innocence. And it has, in my opinion, the best on-screen Santa in Ed Asner. I'll talk more about Elf as we get into it, but oh my gosh, I love Elf.
So this is another one that I'll watch every year if it's on, because as Demi said, it surpasses the original film. The sequel is better. Home Alone 2 is an epic film. We got Donald Trump, we got Macaulay Culkin, we got Tim Curry, we got the 2 bozos, we got the pigeon lady, his little relationship with the pigeon lady. Oh my gosh, it's just like epic, dude. Like, why? Yeah, sure, it's fun to like be alone in your home when you're a kid, but being alone in New York, come on.
You know what's great? Wait.
Tim, I'm going to start off by saying I think Katie and I can both agree that Elf needs to be higher on the list.
Yes.
I had 2 that it couldn't quite beat, but I love this movie. You know what a great Christmas movie has? It has big moments that you remember. Like, you're like, remember this scene. And you're like, remember the snowball fight in Central Park? How about Buddy's journey walking from the North Pole to New York City? How about literally saving Santa from the Central Park Rangers? How about... It keeps going. It's so good.
But we know that's why it should be higher.
Yes.
No one's arguing. We just think I have it higher.
All right, look. I'm gonna do someone dirty here. I'm so sorry. Polar Express has 15 great minutes of content, and the rest is scary, creepy, and boring. I'm sorry. I'm not a Polar Express fan.
The hot chocolate number, Tom.
Hot chocolate's great. It's harmless. Yeah. No, I like hot chocolate. I'm on your side for that one. It's one. Yeah, no.
No, the beautiful ballad duet they sing about wanting to believe in the time of year, and like,
that's the other good part. You just named the 2 good parts of the movie for me.
No, there are so many other good.
So much more.
Spoiler.
When they're skating across the ice. Like, this is an action-packed
The Caribou. Spoiler alert. Elf and Polar Express are the rest of my list. So
you remember when the North Pole is a weird rock party for elves? Yay!
Steven Tyler makes a cameo as an elf.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tyler.
It's because they worked all year and they deserve to let off some steam.
Okay, you know why they deserve to let off some steam? Because there's freaking train tracks that hang in the sky that you can fall from, that children have to crawl across. It's weird. And
I just gotta say, Elf, I think, is most people's like number 1 favorite Christmas movie, so it totally deserves to be higher on the list. I feel like Elf is incredibly popular and should be scooted up.
Elf deserves to be higher.
I really think Elf shouldn't be disqualified just for the fact that you guys feel it should be higher. Like, I think it's the best of these 3 picks that we've listed here, and
that means it should be higher, Sam.
No, because I don't. I disagree. I think Polar Express. Remember the creepy.
I don't know what you could.
30 seconds.
I don't know how you could possibly have 2 things above Elf. I have one thing above Elf, and even that was Rocky. Like, there can't be 2 things above Elf.
I'm sorry. Remember the puppet scene in Polar Express? It's creepy, and I'm not. It's
fine. Then stop arguing against Polar Express. I'm back on Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. That should be number 3.
Home Alone 2 is fine.
It's best. It's best. Okay, Elf should be higher. Home Alone 2 should be number 3.
I think.
And that's your time. Okay. So I would like to start by saying I have never seen this movie. But I'm gonna give it to Home Alone 2.
You've never? Wow. Okay.
I've never even seen the first one.
Hey, I got Elf because literally it came out not too long ago, and like Will Ferrell, the brilliance of having a 6'3" man be an elf is just amazing. And then also like Buddy became a classic Christmas character, a la the Grinch and Rudolph and all those classics, and now he's in there in a modern Christmas holiday tale. It's beautiful.
Speaking of classic Christmas characters, it feels wrong not to include A Christmas Carol on this list. Charles Dickens classic. You have so many iterations of it. You have so many iterations of it. I'll do any of them, whether it be Patrick Stewart, animated Jim Carrey, Muppet, Coffee, or musical.
No, pause. You cannot say every single Christmas Carol is your... I have paused the timer. You cannot say every single Christmas Carol. You have to pick one version of A Christmas Carol.
That's ridiculous.
One movie.
I will give you 3 seconds to pick one.
It's the greatest film of all time. Not
2, 3. Which version, Tim?
I'm going the Muppet one.
Obvious.
In A Muppet Christmas Carol, Michael Caine randomly
You have 10 seconds, go!
Michael Caine randomly decides to play Scrooge with the weight of an Academy Award-winning performance, and it's a Muppet movie.
For number 2, I also have Elf, Will Ferrell's Too Pure for This World. This movie stands the test of time every year. It's number 1 on people's rewatch list every single year. It's a wholesome, smart, and funny watch with memorable moments galore. You can quote that movie up and down, backwards and forward all day long. Also, Peter Dinklage.
I'm going to save some runtime and roll over on this one. You guys can have Elf.
All right, the only movie that could possibly top Elf is the Jim Carrey How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This movie is so good. It is quite literally at the top of everyone's rewatch list. It is so quotable. It is woven into our culture. Everyone can quote the entire speech that he did about his schedule. An absolute bop from Cindy Lou Who, that song that she sings. Christine Baranski's in it. And the costumes and hair for that movie are pretty on point. Also, we get a backstory for the Grinch. Like, what the heck?
We already got Buzz on the list. I think we need Woody on there too. My number 1 is the Polar Express. It's got Tom Hanks. It's got a cameo from Steven Tyler as a crazy elf rock star. It's got a beautiful song by Josh Groban. It's got like just a heartwarming story. And even though it gets a little creepy, that's like dynamic. It makes it dynamic. Honestly, just Tom Hanks is like the number 1 reason.
You cannot tell me either of those movies is better than It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sorry, 1946 Frank Capra. It's literally the best Christmas movie. If Christmas movies are judged on the what they bring you and the cuddly feeling of watching on the couch, it literally brings me some hope for the new year that's coming in. It tells you like how much like your life, your individual life touches so many others without you being aware of it. And that is just a message that like fuels me, and it like brings me back every time at the beginning of the year. I never fail to tear up at
time. Who's gonna get Santa's bag? Let's find out.
You look on any Christmas movie list ever, this is the top spot. It literally is a perfect film. It from start to finish shows you how much a life can touch, how much it can move everyone around you, how important that is. And it literally is the ultimate Christmas story, the ultimate redemption story. It takes place on Christmas, so don't give me any of that it's not a Christmas movie, because the entire plot circles back to this one big event. I'm looking at Demi, Katie.
I feel like everybody knows that I feel like everybody agrees that it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but it's so wholesome, and George Bailey is brought to life by Jimmy Stewart so wonderfully. Donna Reed as Mary Bailey, outstanding. It's one of the greatest.
That movie drags. It's long for
not for a second.
No, you're wrong. Your own personal bias, because for everyone who didn't know, Tim watches this movie with his family every Christmas. This is like their tradition. Okay. Your traditional bias is getting in the way of the fact that this movie, I watched it with them one year. It is like 3 hours, and if it's not 3 hours,
it's not 3 hours.
Like
it's 2 hours
long, and it's old-timey.
So many other families have that same tradition, so if I'm biased, they are too. There's a reason that there is. This movie stands the test of time. It literally, I'm sorry if you find it slow, but so many others don't. Like, so many others see themselves in it. They see themselves, enjoy the characters.
I just want to say real quick that we all watched Hello Dolly together. We all remember Harmonia Gardens. Hot chocolate is basically the waiters in Harmonia Gardens, except on a single cart on a train.
No.
Sorry, I fought for Polar Express at number 3 for a reason. That's where it deserves to be. No higher than number 3.
No, it should be higher because it's like epic. They scoot around the North Pole on these slides, and then it's like the main characters don't even need to have names because they're relatable, and like it's a beautiful. It's got the scary ghost man on the top of the train. 1 second,
Christine Baranski and how the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I think the Grinch is creepy. I don't like how they filmed it with all like distorted and weird.
So over the top and obnoxious. It's so.
It's Jim Carrey.
It's not rewatchable. I can't quote the scene that you noted. I didn't even know what you were talking about.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the lesson learning movie. This Grinch was wronged by these people, resents their way of life, hates them every single day of the year, has a heart that is shriveled up and cold. And then with the help of a little girl, he learns to love. His heart grows 3 sizes bigger. It is the quintessential Christmas movie, learning.
I heard your story in the better 15-minute cartoon.
It is the Christmas.
I got one word for you for mine. Believe.
I have one word for both of yours, which is all over the place. Mine keeps the theme. It gives you everything you could want in a Christmas movie. Everything you could list. The lesson, the comfy, the love, the heart,
believe in the magic
of Christmas cheer.
30 seconds.
Tim, the worst part, hold it, stop. The worst part about your movie is that the bad guy in your film never gets justice.
Yes, he does. Mr. Potter, they fight against him. This town rallies.
That's not true. They raise the money for him and they say, here's your money, but they don't catch the guy who ever stole it.
Because he didn't do anything illegal. It's about life, Demi. It's not about bringing down the corporation.
It should be.
That's what all Christmas
should be about.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I have to give it to the Polar Express.
All right, so the final list is number 6, the Santa Claus 3. Number 5,
the Escape Clause.
Number 5, the Santa Claus. Number 4, Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. Number 3, Home Alone 2. Number 2, Elf. Number 1, The Polar Express. And after tallying our complicated scoring system and really rounding up the numbers and making sure the percentages make sense, our winner of the day is Grace. Do you want to say it?
It is none other than Katie Muse!
All right, guys, that was so awesome. I had such a great time. I loved breaking down our favorite Christmas movies. If you liked what you saw here, if you want to see more, click that like button and click the subscribe button. Follow what we're doing on the channel. If you want to comment below, let us know what your favorite holiday movies are. And last and not least, have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you have a safe and fun time with your family and friends. From all of us at FSA, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. And we'll see you next time.